is Mr. Blackhammer 2021. I will do my Monday Night Raw review. I will talk about Raw tonight, that happened last night, and I will go through the SummerSlam 2023 predictions. Um, my video was sponsored by PlayStation. It was sponsored by JD from New York, from Argo, BC Amplified, Fight Flow Pro Wrestling, Good Might Work Commentaries, Salamoth the Sound Off, and the other YouTubers, my favorite podcasters who do wrestling. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment. Make sure y'all enjoy this video. This is my SummerSlam predictions, and while I go through the predictions, I will talk about Monday Night Raw. I will talk about what's on the NXT. There's pro wrestling. Then I talk about NXT. Hold on. Hold on. Trying to change the camera for some reason. But anyway, Mike will talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. SummerSlam is this Saturday, right around the corner. I think the show started off with this. I thought Monday Night Raw was kind of boring. It was kind of lame. The build up to SummerSlam had been weak. It may have been the weakest go home show for SummerSlam. They had the video package for Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Acting wasn't that good. Now WWE trying to make it think that Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar has a story. There's no story. There's still no explanation why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes. It's just there. I didn't think that this video package was that good, and they had terrible music, by the way. It wasn't that good. But Monday Night Raw, there was some good wrestling. There were some matches I did enjoy. Um, the show opened up with Logan Paul coming out. He comes out. Uh, he comes out wanting to hype up the match with him and Ricochet. They did that thing where the crowd was booing him, and every time he tried to talk, the crowd booing him even louder. So for some reason, the crowd is trying to turn him into Dominic. I don't know why. Every time he picked up the microphone and started to talk, the crowd was booing him. So they brawled, and then Ricochet came out. This was actually a lot better than last week. I'm glad they're hyping up their promo. Now the ending to this is that uh, Logan Paul did mention Ricochet's fiance, the Samantha Irvin. She's the ring announcer. It looks like she will be the ring announcer for this match. And Logan Paul said, "No hard feeling that your girl gonna say my name and now for me at the winner." And then that upset Ricochet, and then they started brawling. Logan Logan Paul stand tall here. So I think it's obvious that Ricochet had to win this match to propel Ricochet, have him shut down Logan Paul. Because based on what I got here, I think Ricochet should win this match. If it's Logan Paul, that'd be kind of sad. But I don't know. I think Ricochet should win and be the babyface. After that, we did get Matt Riddle versus Ludwig Kaiser in a pretty good match. They went about 11 minutes. Imperium is awesome. They're one of the best tag teams ever. Ludwig Kaiser is great in the ring. Now Matt Riddle, he feels ice cold right now. He's not doing anything on the main roster. I don't know if this is punishment or WWE just wasting Matt Riddle. He hasn't done anything on the main roster. He had that great match with Gunther, but that's all he's done ever since he came back from rehab. Now I will talk about Randy Orton and some of these surprises in my prediction just a little bit. But there was a good match. Uh, back before this match took place backstage, Gunther told Ludwig Kaiser to redeem himself and get redemption. So he beat Matt Riddle in a pretty good match. That was my favorite match in the show. After that, we did get Maxine Dupree versus Valhalla in a single debut. The match went 3 minutes. Maxine won, as I predicted. I don't know why we're pushing Maxine. Then 90% of your women, Raquel, Liv, Emma, Indy Hartwell, Mia, Mia Yim, um, Piper Niven, Nikki Cross. There's a lot of women that's not being used on the main roster. A lot of women have been off TV for months. Candice LeRae, where's she at? But we're pushing Maxine Dupree. I don't even give a shit about Maxine, but she's getting over because she put Owens and Gable, who are phenomenal. And she's also been getting cheered by the crowd. But she wrestled for like 3 minutes. I guess it can't be longer. Hopefully that we move on from the feud with the Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders, and we move on to something else. I will talk about Chad Gable in a minute. We did get the Judgment Day. They came out. They said the same old shit. They said they're dominant heading into SummerSlam. They pretty much came out and said the same old shit that they won Monday Night Raw. They're champions, and then they were interrupted by Raquel. Rhea Ripley attacked Raquel. A good attack. She targeted Raquel's knees, so took her out. She sold the injury again. Now, this match is not happening at SummerSlam. This may happen at the next pay per view, probably at Payback, to build this match up a little bit better. Because that, because that, be, I'm sorry, because that's what they're setting up. So yeah, um, yeah. So Rhea and Raquel is not gonna be on SummerSlam. Now Rhea Ripley, she's been booked pretty dominant. She took out Natalia, took out Liv, now Raquel, but she needs a big feud and a proper program with someone. She's been pulled from SummerSlam because the feud with her and Raquel is not hot enough and it hadn't been built. It's just now getting started. But anyway, after that we did get Nakamura versus Tommaso Ciampa. This match went how long? 9 minutes, 8 minutes? Okay, Matt, but I don't care how you definitely care about these two. What are they fighting over? What are they feuding over? Is Nakamura turning heel? Is Ciampa gonna be a heel? There was no Bronson Reed on the show. Now I heard from Dan Tony. He said Bronson Reed was on the pre-show. He wrestled Apollo Crews. Also Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke. She wrestled on the pre-show against Xia Li. Xia Li hadn't been used. She was also drafted in a while, but she hadn't been used. I don't know why. But anyway, Nakamura and Ciampa, like, who gives a shit? If Nakamura turned heel, Nakamura's not doing anything. He's an ice cold on the main roster. He ain't going anywhere. Tommaso Ciampa, where is Johnny Gargano? Are we going to reunite DIY? Where are they? Where's Dexter Loomis? Now, last week, Nakamura was upset that Ciampa got into his business and interfered in the match with Bronson Reed. And then we get this match, and Nakamura wins with a roll up. He grabbed the title of Ciampa and won. Kind of lame. After that, um we did get Becky Lynch. Now, also, Becky Lynch will not be on SummerSlam. Her match with Trish Stratus had been scrapped, and that was the right choice. Good call. Cause no one gives a fuck about the feud. The feud is dead. It's stale. No one cares about it. No one takes it seriously. We're over the feud. We want it to end. They waited 4 months. Only reason why Becky feuding with Trish and Zoe is to give Becky something to do before she moves on to something else. Probably in the title picture with Rhea Ripley. Now, speculating match because he beat Zoe Stark last week. Trish Stratus said no, but Adam Pearce came out and said the match is gonna happen. So we get it. We get the match. Immediately, Zoe Stark comes in, interferes. The match ends in 1 minute, ends the DQ by 1 minute. Then they attack Becky Lynch. Then later on, the backstage, Adam Pearce said that was uncalled for. He said you will have the match with Becky Lynch next week, and Zoe Stark is banned from inside. So I guess next week we will see Becky and Trish, and hopefully we end the feud and move on. Cause you know when Becky Lynch wins clean, the feud has to end. I don't care to see Trish Stratus on TV. I'm not into Becky Lynch really. And Zoe Stark, when the feud's done, Trish Stratus will be taking some time off. She'll be going away for a while. Who knows when she'll come back? And Zoe Stark will be by herself, both like shit. She's not gonna last long by herself. She's only lasted long because he paired with Trish Stratus. But I can't wait for cannot wait for this feud to be over and forgotten about. You will not forget. You will not remember this feud at all. Yeah. All right. So up next, I thought the best thing on the show was Chad Gable and Gunther. Now we had this 5 minute challenge to where Chad Gable had the last 5 minutes in the ring with Gunther, and he did. He won. And then they restart the match. I think they wrestled for like 9 minutes. So if you add that and the 5 minute challenge, like 12 minutes. I would think I can go 25 minutes because Chad Gable was so great. He's so awesome. He's great on the mic, phenomenal in the ring. Chad Gable had a great character, great personality. Gunther is the best on the main roster. Greatest IC champion of the modern era. This was a good match between these two. Gunther did win, and after he won, he cut a great promo to hype up his match with Drew McIntyre. And by the way, Drew McIntyre was not here tonight. He wasn't on Monday Night Raw. Gunther cut a great promo to hype up his match with Drew McIntyre. Said that said that I thought it was a great promo. It was. I thought the best thing on this show was the interview with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. The build-up had been great. The promo package had been great. Ronda and Shayna have been cutting great promos. They had some decent brawls. They had some good mic work. Shayna is honestly better on the mic than Ronda Rousey. They had a big interview to hype up their match, and it showed the history of them being best friends, them in UFC, all the accomplishments that they had. Seeing the video package got to me, and just look how young Shayna was. Now the match is official for SummerSlam. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in a MMA rule. That's what they call them. So this match does have a stipulation and MMA rule, mixed martial arts rules. I think this is all for Rhea to go over. Hopefully Rhea goes over, because needs to win more than Ronda. So yeah, one of the best promos to hype up this feud, and this feud started 4 weeks ago, I think. So yeah, and then we got oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. We had Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. I didn't give a fuck about this. Nor did I give a shit. Um, um, yeah, we got Cody Rhodes. So I thought it was awful. I thought the Cody Rhodes Brock thing was awful. Hold on. Hey, what the hell? Hold on. Finally, I switched the camera. Can y'all see me? Um. So yeah. Um. I thought the Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar was the same old shit. It was rinse and repeat. The, Cody and Brock have been stale, boring. Again, same old shit. Rinse and repeat. I cannot wait for this to be over. Brock Lesnar comes out. So Brock Lesnar came out. He said his usual thing. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. He's the NCW. He's the NCAA champion. The the former UFC champion. He's the world heavyweight. He's world champion. He comes in, gets paid, and goes home. And he said the same thing about Cody Rhodes. Comes in, get paid, goes home. He asked Cody Rhodes to get your ass out here and come in here and shake my hand like a man. I thought they made Cody Rhodes look kind of stupid because you got to remember 2 weeks ago Brock Lesnar came out and attacked Cody Rhodes in front of Cody Rhodes' mother. It was in Cody Rhodes' hometown. He ruined the Cody Rhodes homecoming. He attacked Cody Rhodes, F5'd him, beat him up in front of his mother. Um, it, it um, it's just crazy when you think about it. But geez, man, geez, how dare you? I mean, after he shook his hand with his stupid Cody Rhodes dumb baby face, Lesnar F5'd him, suplexed them, and that was it. That's how the segment went off. Who gives a shit about Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar? The only part they're waiting for is that what did Cody do at WrestleMania? Who's he gonna wrestle? Who's he gonna feud with? I can't wait. I cannot wait for this feud. I can't wait. Um, yeah. After that, after Cody brought stuff and that garbage, we got the main event. Another same old shit. Rinse and repeat main event. Sami Zayn team up with Seth Rollins, take on the Judgment Day, Dirty Dominic versus Damian Priest. You know, I'm really sick and tired of seeing the same old matches over and over and over again. Rematch after rematch. Same old feuds, same old builds, same old people. Now I'm glad that the Judgment Day wasn't overexposed in this shit. We only got like 1-7 with them, and then we got the main event. But it was, and this may have been a burial. Or maybe, I don't know. So yeah. So I know that Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, Cody's gonna win, obviously. We can move on from the feud, get out of the way. But as I said, Mike will talk about the main event. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens did get the victory here. I'm not going to do the main event, I'm going to go to the ending. The ending, they did tease that something's going to happen at SummerSlam. They did a lot of foreshadowing and a lot of teasers. Now, last week, Damian Priest could cast in and it was 4-1 against Seth Rollins. This week, Damian Priest tried to cast in on a week 1 with Seth Rollins during a tag team match. But that one stopped him. And then Finn Balor had the briefcase. There was about a 1 second hesitation. And then he got the briefcase. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that was wrong, really. They're setting up and they're teasing a few things that could happen in this Rollins Balor match. Some people think Rollins will win. Some people think Balor will win. It's no, it's most like it's most I forgot the word. I don't know. So yeah. Yeah, so I think that was it. I think that was one that one. The show was very weak. I won't say it sucked. It was a weak show. It felt kind of boring. The best part was Chad Gable and Gunther, Matt Widow and Ludwig Kaiser, a decent Ricochet and Logan Paul. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, who gives a fuck? Whatever. We are just waiting for the feud to be over. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I think that was Monday Night Raw. What much to talk about. That was Monday Night Raw. I went through all the matches, all the segments. Now I can talk about the build to SummerSlam or SummerScam. Now we all know that SummerSlam will probably go 4 hours. We all know that SummerSlam had like 8 matches on the card. One match got added on SmackDown. It was the Battle Royal for the Slim Jims. The Mad Battle Royal at SummerSlam, which by the way happened advertised as a Slim Jim Battle Royal. A good, just a good idea, Vince, Paul. I mean, like, yeah. So, yeah. Um, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, damn. I don't know why I feel so exhausted. You know, watching Monday Night Raw last night. About to watch NXT. NXT's on right now. It's Carmelo Hayes' birthday on tonight on NXT. I don't think I'm gonna review NXT. Oh, I forgot to say I probably now before I talk about SummerSlam, I probably should did the news and rumors. All right, here we go. Here are the news and rumors. As you guys know, that Triple H calls AEW a secondary promotion. Cody documentary. Where all where are the all-in masses? The AEW and WWE. Uh, both AEW and WWE Women's Division both took a hit this week with their fan asking for better women's wrestling after a terrible match with Ty Valkyrie and Britt Baker that resulted in drama coming out of AEW, the women's locker room. On the WWE side, WWE had pulled Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus from SummerSlam and had no plans for Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. What are the top two promotions in the United States doing for better women's wrestling? As you guys know, AEW is planning Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay for All In. Andrade challenged Malachi Black for All In. Britt Baker under fire for independent wrestler. Claim Paul to held her down. Um, Britt Baker also in 2021 tweet resurfaced after her terrible match with Tyre at Dynamite. CM Punk revealed Real World Champion Ricky Starks versus CM Punk for Saturday. That's on All In. MJF T turned on Adam Cole, but better than you know, baby. Live on. Fans frustrated by lack of Matt, Card, and Ellen. What is 29 waiting for? Also, Jade Cargill teasing she may not return to pro wrestling after her negligence. Um, as you guys know, what happened on SmackDown last week, Rey Mysterio got legit hurt in the match with Santos Escobar, so I guess he's gonna be off TV for a while. And then, like I said, the WWE announced a Battle Royal is their plan for SummerSlam. I get their plan for LA to give him a push, give him some wins, some momentum. You know, he has a lot to do in that match, though. A lot. And also, as you guys know, it's been reported by JD from New York, I think by 542, that Roman Reigns not scheduled for Payback, Fastlane, and Survivor Series. That's ridiculous. So you telling me that Roman Reigns is not going to be wrestling at these three pay-per-views? It's only going to be Saudi Arabia? Um, Don't know what they're gonna do about that. I think that they're being lazy. Now, anyway, as you guys know, that WWE leave Trish, Becky, and Rhea all SummerSlam. White choice. Yeah, there've been way too many. There have been way too many women's matches on the show. Um, like I said, Shayna and Ronda used very effectively with sit-down video package promo, and Kevin Owens hits he may be done wrestling after current contract expires in WWE. Yeah. All right. Okay. I might as well go into the preview and predictions. I don't know if the Battle Royal gonna open the show. It's part of the Slim Jim Battle Royal. It's just a way to get people on the car and give LA Knight a match. I think LA Knight will win the Battle Royal. He should win it. Gain some momentum, gain some wins. Um, so we all know that I think LA Knight gonna win the Battle Royal at SummerSlam. They might open the show to get the crowd going. Maybe we'll come down to him and Austin Theory and Santa Eckerbar. Maybe. Um, alright. So as I was saying, Logan Paul and Ricochet, I'm going with Ricochet. He needs to win based on what happened last night. While Logan Paul needs a victory, it's time to give him a moment. I'll prepare Ricochet into a title picture. He deserved that. So, I think that Logan Paul's gonna lose. Some people think he might win. Logan Paul has not had a victory since last year. Something when we beat the Miz. He lost to Roman Reigns, lost to Seth Rollins, lost to Royal Rumble. It looks like he might win this match. I think it's the right call for Ricochet to win. Remember, these two started back at Money Bank and back at the Royal Rumble when both of them did that flying clothesline. It got a big reaction, a big pop in the crowd. That made the woman so great. Made it so memorable. Yeah. So that's the second match I just said. It could be Logan Paul win the battle. We got who else we got on the show? Um, Becky Lynch versus no, not Becky Lynch. We have Charlotte versus Asuka versus Bianca for the Women's Championship. This one is also a tough one to predict. I think Charlotte wants to win it, become a 15-time world champion. Boy, they really want to build up this Charlotte title win. Might have Bianca beat her. But yeah, Charlotte, she's gonna be I don't know. Charlotte, she's gonna probably win this match. It may be title versus title. I don't know what she's gonna do with that. It makes no sense. Charlotte cannot win this match. Charlotte had no business winning this match. I think Asuka should win. She'd be like an afterthought in the feud. The feud had been about Bianca and Rhea. So I think that it's the right call to have Asuka retain here. They can do a cast in on SmackDown or as a temporary payback. I don't even see. So you might well just have them win. Yeah. So after that, we did get Drew McIntyre versus Gunther. Um, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, man. I know I feel tired. Yeah, so as I said, I want to see Drew McIntyre beat Gunther. I think Gunther's gonna win, break the Honky Tonk Man record. He'll break it by next month. So he should break the Honky Tonk Man record. He's gonna beat Drew McIntyre. It should be a banger match. It should be a great match. But Gunther will retain, and that's it. He will retain. And then we got Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. As I said before, the feud has been boring, stale, same old shit, rinse and repeat, waiting for it to be over. The one thing that people are interested about, and that I'm interested about, is that where did Cody Rhodes go after he beat Brock Lesnar? You know what's gonna happen. Now Brock could win, but what did that do for Cody Rhodes? Where did Cody Rhodes go? He's losing. I wouldn't say that. He's losing momentum. So I don't know what's going on here. So yeah, and I'm like, okay, wait, what? Hold, hold on for a second. Hold on a second. Oh, wait, I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Had to fix a few things. I'm so sorry about that. I'm back. Thank you for watching. It's been about 32 minutes. I think I will end the video pretty soon. I'm gonna keep it on a little bit longer. I was hoping I can do it like an hour. But as I said, back to my SummerSlam predictions. Yeah, like I said, Cody Rhodes is gonna win. He'll beat Brock Lesnar, and then we'll move on from that. Now the rumor I'm hearing that where did Cody Rhodes go? Who's he gonna feud with? Is it gonna be Bray Wyatt? Did Randy Orton come back? Hope it's not Bray Wyatt. Some people think maybe Drew McIntyre. I if I were me, I think Drew McIntyre should turn heel. 'Cause I think he's over. I think he's stale and boring as a babyface. He's not beating Gunther. He shouldn't beat Gunther. It could end the fuck with it, that man. Or maybe both matches can. Because how you gonna make it believe that Cody Rhodes can beat Brock Lesnar clean? We there's no explanation. We still know why Brock attacked Cody. There is no stipulation like they said there was. That was the plan. It was supposed to be a stipulation, but there's no stipulation unless they changed it on the fly at SummerSlam. Or, but I mean, outside that, I mean, like, how you make it believe that Cody Rhodes is gonna beat Brock Lesnar? Because it's rinse and repeat. Every week he gets his ass beat, he's nothing but me. He's like, wow. And he said the same old shit in the promo. Brock Lesnar comes out, beats his ass. I was hoping there was gonna be a stipulation, but there isn't. There should have been after Brock Lesnar beat up Cody Rhodes in front of his mother. But Cody Rhodes came out and shook his hand like that. Like that was just lame. That was just they haven't made Cody Rhodes into a legit babyface or a star. Cody Rhodes is a good dead. He's Ike Cole, I think. Now he had to win this match, and we'll see where Cody Rhodes go. If he's gonna wrestle Seth Rollins, I don't know. He shouldn't be in the title picture. He's not gonna be in the title picture because that's too soon, and you're already setting him up for a loss. Now, unless if you go to SmackDown trying to get Roman Reigns, he's not gonna get a title shot because Reigns ain't wrestling the payback. So I don't know what we do with Cody Rhodes after he beat Brock Lesnar, or maybe this match in the fuck finish. I don't know. Either way, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, pretty good match. The build-up had been great. The promos have been phenomenal. It's been great. I love what they did with Shayna and Ronda. They told a great story. Like I said, the match have been ruled to a MMA rules, mixed martial arts rules. So I guess maybe that one of them can win by knockout. I think Shayna should win. She should go over. She deserves it. And build up Shayna Baszler, make her interesting. Shayna should win. She beat Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey will take some time off. There's been report that her contract might expire. She might go back to UFC. Goodbye, Ronda. We will not be missing you. Shayna Baszler gonna win this match? It might go 10 minutes. Hopefully pretty good. And then we got the two world title matches. These matches, anything could happen. They seem unpredictable based on the build and the storyline. I'll go with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. I think Finn Balor. It's possible that Balor could win and Damian Priest could cash in, or maybe Damian Priest fails to cash in, or maybe he screws over Finn Balor. Because after what we saw on Raw, where Finn Balor hesitated to cash in to help Priest cash in, he hesitated. He wanted Priest to cash in, and he cost Priest that match on Raw. So maybe we could get it here. I mean, Seth Rollins deserved a longer title reign. He'd be doing something back with his career. They see Seth Rollins as a main event guy who can hold on to the title longer. So I think Seth will win here with Damian Priest getting involved. I don't think that they'll do the same finish from Money in the Bank. This one might be a little bit different. But either way, we will see what happens here. But I'm gonna pick Seth Rollins. But I want Finn Balor. I think I'll go with Seth Rollins. I think that's the safest bet. And then finally, we got the main event. The main event for the undisputed Universal Champion will defending his world title in a tribal combat. Tribal combat is anything goes. It's a silly stipulation. No DQ, no count out, anything can happen. They can go either ways. I still can't believe that we have geese on here. We have people. I see people in my chat. We have a lot of YouTubers out there saying that Jey Uso gonna beat Roman Reigns. Jey Uso will dethrone Roman Reigns. Now it does make sense for the storyline. Does Jey Uso become the tribal chief? Because that was on the line. It's not just the world title, it's also the tribal chief. Did Jey Uso win? I think we will see Jimmy. Solo will get involved as usual. Some people think that The Rock is showing up. Argo said that are they planning for a Rock return? Maybe we'll see the Raw Samoans. Maybe Rikishi. Someone in the family can show up and interfere in this match. Anything can happen. And this is the main event. So, they can go, either way. Yes, they can go either way. So, we all know that Roman Reigns is going to retain. He's not scheduled to wrestle at Backlash. He might not wrestle at Fastlane. Maybe Survivor Series, I don't know. But he will wrestle in Saudi Arabia. He will, because it's Saudi Arabia, so he will wrestle there.
Inclement weather, it's fucking nightmare, especially at 12 o'clock, getting out of there with the traffic.
Alright, that was my prediction for SummerSlam. I talked about Raw and the news and rumors. I talked about SummerSlam. Mike will show you guys my favorite YouTuber, my favorite podcaster, JD from New York. He's going to talk about the Cody doc and that secondary promotion. Triple H called AEW a secondary promotion. Cody documentary
this week, but the Cody documentary was the thing that everybody was waiting for coming out of this past weekend. It debuted on Monday. I unfortunately did not get a chance to see it yet in between the time that they released it and the start of this show. It's not. I know. You said it to me this morning. It's my job. I'm like, I'd rather get some sleep than watch. That's the one thing you should have watched. You should have skipped Raw. Really, I know. I mean, a lot of my people actually did that. I should have joined them in doing that. But the Cody documentary dropped, Drew. The entire thing was, I believe, praised. The majority of the people enjoyed it. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you seen this thing yet?
I saw it a couple weeks back
when
it premiered, and then I saw it yesterday. Yesterday when it dropped.
Yeah.
So I saw about an hour and a half of it when it hadn't been released, and then I saw it more recently. And it is the best documentary I think WWE has done since being partnered with Peacock.
Yeah, and this is going to begin Cody's ascent to that world championship and finish his story. I'll leave the floor to you, Drew, to start this thing off. I know there were a couple of big pieces in there that were floating around on social media almost immediately Cody stating that he had left AEW due to a personal issue, and then the Triple H thing, which I mean, everybody took out completely out of proportion. I mean, they made the documentary more about that than fucking Cody telling his story.
Well, and that's and no offense to the journalistic landscape of the professional wrestling / sports entertainment media, but for me, you guys make so much shit out of nothing, truthfully. Yeah. And I think it needs to stop. Like, Triple H has his opinion. Paul Levesque, as a human being, has his opinions. And Cody leaving it was all the clickbait bullshit headlines. And realistically, what that whole story was Cody Rhodes, Cody Runnels, how much he idolized his father. His father was his hero. And all he wanted to do before he passed, he being Dusty, was put that world championship in Dusty's hands, and he'll never get the opportunity to do that. But it really was a story about the Rhodes family's redemption and how Cody is going to do that for not only his dad, his mom, but for his own daughter. Because now he is living so that his daughter can be proud of the man that he is. And for me as a father, that hit on all levels. I get it. And realistically, what this does is it puts Cody right back into, which he really never left, but it puts him right back into that slot where it's like, okay, well, this is the guy they're obviously going with. I mean, when you have Triple H and all these other people talking so highly about Cody, that's where it's headed. When you watch it, you will see it. But Cody did state that he left AEW. He said, I can't tell you why I left AEW, but I will tell you this. I did not leave AEW because of money, because I'm sure Tony Khan, which me and you have spoken about before, Tony Khan and the brass probably offered him a boatload. Probably, maybe even more than WWE, let's just be honest, because they have more money than God, they being AEW. And he said, I did not leave because they were bringing in other talent, a la Bryan Danielson, probably CM Punk, etc., etc. He left due to personal reasons. So I will ask you, if you had to guess, I'll give my take. What is your reasoning that Cody left AEW? The personal reasons. What do you think it is?
The personal reasons, honestly, I don't think of anything else but the fact, and the reason why he says he can't talk about it. Like, did he say that he can't really dive into why he left AEW?
So he really didn't say why. He just said, I can't. And for me, I believe that's because Cody's a smart businessman, and what he doesn't want to do is bury anything that could possibly, give him a check maybe 3 or 4 years down the road if this WWE thing, doesn't pan out or whatever. Yeah, I think that Cody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I didn't want to cut you off.
I think he's just leaving the door open. He's not trying to badmouth anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not even thinking about that because he's got so much left to accomplish here. But it could happen that he ends up back there. But I think the personal issue is the entire thing with his family and really kind of clearing the name of the Rhodes dynasty in WWE. I think Cody felt like they didn't really do his family justice when he was there, and maybe throughout all of Dusty's run there, working for Vince. I don't think the McMahon family really appreciated the Rhodes family and the Rhodes family dynasty. And I think the personal issue stems from Cody, being shunned and looked at as not a big deal when he was there, going to the Indies, making a name for himself, making himself into a household name, being one of the pieces to start AEW, making himself into a huge superstar, to only come back and now see, the WWE in a different way, them see him in a different way. I feel like he has demons that have haunted him up until this point. Like, he wanted so much to be accepted by the McMahon family and be the guy that he knew that he was. But Vince didn't see it. And I don't think Vince would have ever seen it unless Cody went out there and did what he did to make himself into the man that he is today. That's the personal issue. I don't know how much of it he discussed. I don't know how much of it he could really divulge in the way that I just mentioned it to you, but that's the reason. He wanted to make himself into the kid that Vince saw that he didn't see anything into, and now he's a world champion, and he wants to show Vince that he is that guy.
I think what you're saying is 100% accurate. I think there's more to it than that. I think that Cody did want to come back to WWE and still does to claim that Rhodes name, that Rhodes family. I mean, his opening,
he did.
Song, like lyrics in the song is there's more than one royal family in wrestling. So I just believe that Cody wanted to right a lot of wrongs for his family, and he is doing that. But I do believe that Cody and the Bucks and Kenny might still have some power. I'm not quite sure. We're kind of pushed out of their EVPs, and I think that when Cody started All Elite Wrestling with the Bucks and with the Khans, I believe that he always wanted to be part of that decision-making, booking, like running a show type of performer, where he would perform and then he would do the same, basically like what Triple H does. And I think Tony Khan was just like, we can't do this anymore. And I think that was one of the main reasons why Cody left. I know he wanted to finish the story. Cody was always a WWE guy, and I think it was inevitable that Cody was headed back to World Wrestling Entertainment. But I do believe that there were some things that happened that maybe pushed this um, to the top instead of maybe it being another year or two from now.
Yeah, I don't know why Cody didn't win an AEW championship. It almost was.
I can tell you why.
He did everything to not win the championship over there.
Exactly.
Like, he put himself in a stipulation where he could never get another championship match. I don't know if Tony Khan wanted to make him the guy. I don't know if the Bucks saw him as the guy to lead that company as the champion and the world champion. But with what Triple H said, how much of that is legitimate, Drew? Where Triple H says, well, he didn't want to win his first world championship in a secondary promotion. He wanted to come back home, win the big prize that everybody knows is the most prestigious title in all pro wrestling, and do it at WrestleMania. I mean, there's a lot of truth to that as well. I mean, Cody's not going to tell you that because he doesn't want to bury his friends, and obviously he's still got an amicable relationship with TK. But Triple H has no problem saying that. I mean, any dig, any dig he would take at AEW, he's going to fucking take it.
What does Triple H have to lose?
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And he'll never work there. And I can tell you that right now. Triple H, Paul Levesque will never work at AEW. All of you watching me right now, I will bet my last dollar. Triple H will never be in AEW, okay? So he can say whatever the hell he wants. The thing with Cody is I think that Cody has taken a lot of steps to get to where he's at right now. I think this was the ultimate goal. I think he wanted to elevate his rise, and he's done that. Went to AEW, became a huge star. Do I think in the back of Cody Rhodes' mind, he thought, I don't want that to be the first world championship I win? Possibly. I will say this, that I think as we got further and further into AEW, I think Cody saw that this was the time, more now than ever, to jump to WWE because he was the biggest name that he was ever going to be. His star was as bright as it was ever going to be.
Except for a dislocated elbow.
And I do believe that Cody did want to win his first world championship in WWE. So I think that is part of it. But I don't believe that was the initial thought that Cody had running through his head. I think as we got, and this is me saying, I don't know this to be fact. I've never asked Cody, but I will say that I do believe that Cody, just like he won't win that World Heavyweight Championship, he will not.
I hope not.
He will not. That will not be the first World Championship he wins. He will definitely win the title that has eluded him and his family, and that is Roman's championship when he does win that. But I will say that I do believe
Cody will not be the
as we got into year 2 or 3 of his AEW tenure. Yeah, I think Cody has taken, because think of it this way: if he wins that AEW championship, then comes on WWE TV on Monday Night Raw after his debut at WrestleMania and says what he says, everyone would be like, "Dude, are you serious? Like, you won AEW's World Championship and you're basically just shitting on it like it was nothing?"
Oh, what the hell? Come on now, damn it! You gotta be careful. We're trying to listen to the guy. I hate when it does this, man. Get out of here. But I do agree with what Andrew just said. There's a reason why Cody Rhodes didn't win the AEW World Champion on AEW. Because Cody Rhodes wants to win he wants his first world title to be the title that his father couldn't win. And that's the WWE title. And when the time comes, he will win it.
Invest, and maybe he was thinking, Roman's not going to hold that championship forever. He may be dwindling down with his schedule, and sees Roman taking a lighter schedule. They're not going to have Roman hold the championship, forever. And Roman, with all the rumors of him going to Hollywood, do you think that he was watching all of this play out, and then he chose now to do it based on all these factors?
Listen, timing is everything in life. And for all the schmendricks here in the chat sitting here saying that Cody would never say he left for money, I would almost guarantee that if Cody Rhodes took his contract from WWE that they had offered and showed it to Tony Khan, Tony would have either matched it or even put a couple $100,000 more.
I don't know why people think that Tony Khan's not going to match a contract with somebody of that stature. Like Tony Khan does not fucking take that shit lightly. I can tell you that from just what we've read and what we've seen.
Here's the deal with Tony Khan and the Khan family. They are in the national football business. Their family owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they are in the most shark-infested waters you could ever be in terms of free agents, players, coaches, et cetera, et cetera. They paid a coach to go away. They paid him to leave. A boatload of money to leave. I mean, we're talking an excess of 30, 40, 50 million dollars to just say, bye-bye, see ya. We don't need you here. Thank you for your 6 games. We're going to pay you for your contract. I mean, if you don't think that the Cons are have that ego where I'm not going to be outbid, you're crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
So we can put that to bed. I do believe that Cody is a calculated man. And I do believe that when things started to fall into place, no more EVP, all this other stuff. Okay, they're really focusing on CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. I'm going to go take my talents to WWE because realistically, I will be the second biggest fish in that pond, and he is.
Yeah.
He is. I mean, do you watch WWE and see they are building Cody and Brock 3 like it's Rock Austin? I mean, and they have a world championship match between Finn Balor and Seth freaking Rollins, and that seems like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Truthfully. So I think Cody was calculated. And
I think Cody and Brock
timing
is an
was
afterthought.
everything. And I think that as we got closer and closer to that,
Balor and Rollins is much
contract,
interesting.
signed, sealed,
Based on the story that they're telling.
You
Cody
and I know that
Rhodes
the
is an
Triple H
afterthought.
comment
Brock
about
Lesnar.
AEW being a secondary promotion, isn't anything at all. I mean, it was a 5-second line in a hour-and-a-half documentary about Cody Rhodes. People made a big deal about it. Triple H, like you perfectly said before, can say that he's got nothing to lose, and he'll take any cheap shot he can at AEW, as I do believe he thinks that AEW kind of pushed NXT out of where they were with the Dynamite, train rolling into Wednesday nights. But with him saying it's a secondary promotion, Drew, a lot of people are like, well, they are a secondary promotion. I mean, the way you want to look at it, it's not really them being a secondary promotion. I think the way he made it sounds a little less than. AEW is the second biggest wrestling promotion in the world outside WWE, and they were automatically that upon entry into the business with Tony Khan's backing. Now, they've gained more popularity and more steam, but for them to be called a secondary promotion in the way Triple H made it sound, Drew, I don't think it's giving them their fair share of the pizza pie, honestly, because they just sold 80,000 tickets to All In. I don't think a secondary promotion, the way he made it sound, is going to be able to do that in their first time in London.
Well, I mean, listen, you can call AEW whatever the hell you want, but at the end of the day, AEW is competition to WWE.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can call them secondary, we can call them whatever, but at the end of the day, there's two promotions here, there's two companies in the wrestling business and the sports entertainment business, and that would be WWE and AEW. So they're going to take shots at each other just like WWE and WCW did. But, I mean, again, let me make this blatantly clear. When I say they're getting a Rock and Austin build, I am not comparing Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar to Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're getting video packages, they're getting a ton of time, and they're getting an extreme build. And that's the treatment they're getting, guys. Don't be so one-track mind. Please. It's hard for me to keep up with all these idiots in the comments. All right? I'm just being honest with you. I like you guys.
Yeah.
If you can't follow, then I don't know what to tell you, truthfully. I didn't say they were Rock and Austin. I said they're getting the treatment.
Yeah.
Why did they take that out of context? It was not Rock Austin. I mean, the video package was very movie-like. It was very cinematic. Last night, I hated it.
Here we go.
I hated it. I didn't think anything about it, really.
The song is a downer, but it is a good song. Does it fit? Not for me.
No.
Let's talk about this. Let's kind of move away from the Triple H comments and everything else. Cody said he'd like to have Arn Anderson, manage him in WWE. Would you like to see that, or do you think that's kind of like, no thanks?
Yes, I think whatever Cody can do to surround himself with whoever has been close to his family and close to his father on this road to the top, I think that would give him much better perception than what we've gotten of Cody Rhodes right now. I feel like, and you and I have discussed this on almost every episode so far of this show on Tuesday. I don't feel Cody's momentum is there. He's got the crowd reaction. He's got the backing of the company. He's got the merchandise sales. His momentum and creative on TV is not equal to what he is in the eyes of WWE. I think by getting somebody like that, a close family friend, is going to be a good thing. And also, WWE doesn't really do the managerial thing anymore either, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm an old soul. I think managers in the current day have every right to be there and could be utilized just like they were back in the 80s and the 90s. But yeah, I'd love to see it. I really would.
So for me, it's a miss, right? I'd rather have like Arn and DDP and all these other guys ringside when Cody eventually wins his first world championship in WWE, which I think will be in Philadelphia. Cody's talked about how Philly's like a second home to him and the fans welcome him and all that other stuff. So that's something I would do. But I think, again, I'm going to make a comparison. So don't lose your mind, Chad, okay? Jose Lothario was brought in for Shawn Michaels to kind of add some sympathy to Shawn, and then it was to build a match with Sid. Cody doesn't need any of this stuff. Cody doesn't need a manager. Roman Reigns has a wise man in Paul Heyman, and I think it just fits. He's arrogant. He just thinks who the hell he is, and it works. Paul Heyman could do his bidding and his business. For me, Cody bringing Arn into WWE, it's too much, and I think all that does is kind of like give a little nod and a nudge and a wink to that, hey, we saw what you guys did in AEW.
Cody don't need
which
it.
I get, but for me, it's just a miss. I don't need Cody with Arn. I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think we need Cody to have any sympathy from the fans either. I mean, I think that's going to just do everything that WWE doesn't want to have happen. I think it's going to have the reverse effect. Honestly, I don't want to sympathize with Cody. We've already been there. Like we've sympathized with him. Cody should really be portrayed as the fucking guy that went out there, kicked ass, came back, proved himself, and now he's here to take what's rightfully is his. I don't want him to be beat up. I don't want to watch him get beat up every other week by Brock. I don't want to have sympathy and be like, oh my God, Cody, right in front of his mother. Oh, no, I feel so bad. No. Cody should be out there fucking kicking ass and taking names. This is the guy that we want. Yet WWE's building him like John Cena. WWE's building sympathy. Oh my God, we got to feel bad for Cody. No.
Well, it's that white meat baby face. It's WWE's bread and butter, and the kids love it. And I know everyone's like that.
I mean, no one wants to see that because Cody Rhodes, he should not be built like John Cena or Roman Reigns. There's no reason to get Cody Rhodes this mega puss. I mean, every single week, the same old shit. He's basically me. He comes out, wow, said the same old shit, gets his ass beat by Brock Lesnar every single week, going on for like 4 fucking months, actually 3 months. And then when you gave him a secondary feud, wrestled Dominic Mysterio, he wrestled the Judgment Day. So after Brock Lesnar, what happens?
Stop watching the show through your kids' eyes.
Yeah.
A business perspective, they're building him. They put a lot of sympathy on him. I think it's a smart way to go about the business. And Cody is going to be that ass kicker. But he's not going to be like Brock Lesnar ass kicker. That's just not his game. I mean, he's not an MMA fighter. He's not a brawler. Cody is just that guy who will outwork you. And that's that.
Now you mentioned Jose Lothario. What did you think of Shawn Michaels' run then? Like, I don't think Jose Lothario really added anything as far as what I wanted to see to Shawn Michaels. I mean, you know as good as I do, when we got into that MSG Survivor Series show, MSG was, 14,000 deep.
That was my first show.
They were fucking all for Sid that night. Why did they turn? Because is that because of what I just mentioned about Cody and the sympathy? Shawn had too much sympathy and the fans kind of turned away from that?
No, I think that what happened with Shawn was, it's plain and simple. The Garden is the Garden. That was my first show. I was 10 years old. So I will say this, when Sid's music hit, I was like, holy shit, what's happening here? And I was a 10-year-old kid, and I was just like, what's happening? Because at that point, you don't get, they were cheering. MSG in New York City has always had that reputation where they cheer the bad guys and they boo the good guys. But I mean, that was different. Shawn was white hot. Came into the Garden. They wanted Sid. And good on Vince and WWE for listening. Because I don't know how that crowd takes Shawn Michaels walking out of that building with the WWE championship. I really don't. But Jose Lothario added nothing to Shawn Michaels' run, in my opinion. The only thing it did was it was a vehicle to help build Shawn going into the Alamo Dome in '97. But if you rewind, Shawn was with Jose at 96 at WrestleMania, basically like his trainer and stuff like that. And I thought it took away from Shawn's run.
Yeah,
it really did.
Yeah, I could see why you wouldn't want on with Cody then.
No, I just think that this needs to be Cody cut and dry. If this happens, great. I don't want, like, for me, when I saw Brandy and his daughter ringside and they showed them on camera and he kissed them, I thought in my head, I was like, shit, they're going to put the championship on Cody. And I was like, that's okay. We'll see how this runs. But then it didn't happen, and I was like, wow. Good on WWE. Good for all of this because they made everybody believe that this was going to happen, and it didn't. So,
Yeah, which upset millions of fucking people, man. You didn't want to be on social media after WrestleMania this year, I'll tell you that.
No, this is going to upset the chat too, but let me ask you this. In my opinion, AEW leans too heavily on this ECW legend stuff, which, listen, there's an ECW one night stand ticket.
I'm looking at this. So, also for NFT, The Rock returns. So, also for NFT that's on right now, Rey Mysterio announces that he's coming to NXT. Is he gonna wrestle Dominic? Don't tell me that these two are gonna feud again.
ECW fan, always have been, always will be. And the fact that
Actually, wait, hold on. Now, before we get back to JD from New York and Andrew, let's see what NXT is going on. Because Dominic and Rhea's on NXT. Because, you know, Dominic, the North American champion, Rhea's by his side. They said that Rey Mysterio coming to NXT. But I thought Rey Mysterio was injured. He was legit hurt in his match with Santos. I guess we'll see.
I won't let you disrespect the NXT universe or your heritage any longer.
Dragon Lee comes up.
Look, it's Rey Mysterio Jr. again. I don't like you. Don't. Because the greatest luchador of all the time is Rey Mysterio. Tu padre. I made the Mysterio name relevant. I'm the champion. We all know you're still a champion just because your mommy, man, really, I can't understand how she has your cojones on her purse. I'm a fighting champion. So let's see what we do next week. This, my God.
Proud to say that I am.
Wait, what?
Hey, Dominique. Yeah, it's your father. And guess what? I am proud to say that I am coming next week to NXT to be in the corner of someone I truly respect. The future of Lucha Libre. Así es el futuro, Dragon Lee. Hey, I hate to break it to you, but I'm going to have the best seat in the house. And I can't wait when Dragon Lee te parte toda la... Yeah, you know what's going to happen. Dragon Lee's going to take away that North American title.
Wow, crowd saying let's go daddy. Well, alright, might as well get back to this.
I don't think it's good enough for All In. And is AEW, is Tony Khan dropping the ball? I see a lot of people getting very vocal in Tony Khan's comments on social.
Yeah, so I guess, so like I said, Rey Mysterio coming to NXT. He'll be in the corner of Dragon Lee for the match with Dominic. So maybe Dominic and Rey is not over. It looks like that feud will continue.
W,
Go ahead.
watching at home. I am going to say this. Now, I don't think they should do this, but I think the pay-per-view / PLE concept for this type of event would work because we are in a boom period, a re-boom period of professional wrestling / sports entertainment. It's never been hotter. On the WWE side, internationally for AEW, and even so, AEW is still doing good numbers and decent attendance numbers. I will say this. I think they should have an event where they just advertise who's going to be there. Every championship will be on the line, and we don't know the card. It's just the advertisement will be Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, CM Punk, FTR, all these men and women will be at the event and they will wrestle. And all of a sudden, you get, and I understand professional wrestling is about storylines, it's about the whole story and the build. But for one night, you could do this, and I think it sells because the unpredictability of what match is going to happen and who's going to be, I think a lot of people would dig it, especially the AEW crowd. Think about it. Kenny Omega's music hits, and everybody is watching this event, and nobody knows who he's going to take on. And then all of a sudden, it's CM Punk's music. You know how many people would become unglued watching that? And I don't know who put this concept out there. I saw it on Twitter, or X.
Yeah, Bully Ray said it on Busted Open.
Okay,
he said if he was in charge, he wouldn't announce one fucking match and just watch the show, and then whatever comes out of the curtain, or whoever comes out of the curtain comes out of the curtain. That's
exactly right. Yep, and I am not taking credit for what Bully Ray said. I saw it on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it nowadays, and I thought it was genius. And I think it can work in today's wrestling landscape because you're buying the pay-per-view. All 1,500 of you are buying the pay-per-view in here as well. Of course, we're going to get the one or twos like, I'm not buying it. Whatever. When we're all subscribed to Peacock, for the most part, even if you hate watch WWE, you're subscribing to it. So I think what Bully Ray said does hold a lot of merit, and I think it would work. It really would. Especially with the loaded roster that we have.
Maybe that's where he's going. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a reason for why he hasn't done anything yet. We're 3 weeks away.
Yeah. And I don't think he's going that way, truthfully. But I think that would keep a lot of... Listen, the intrigue would be out of control. It would be... I mean, the wrestling... Everybody loves to play that game of professional wrestling, right? Who's going to win? Who's going to do... That's why you watch the shows, right? So give us an event. We have no idea who's versing who, and you want to talk about people exploding and people losing their minds? That's it.
I don't know, man. I think it gives Tony Khan a reason to be lazy and take the fans for granted. I also feel like people want to know what they're paying for. Like, I want to know what I'm paying for. Like, I want to see a card, whether it's 7, 8, 9 matches. I want to know what I'm paying for. Like, I'm paying for it anyway. But, like, I'm talking about it like a casual person that doesn't do what we do. You know, you want to get a card so you know what you're paying for, and if you don't get a card and you don't know what's going to be on the show, how could you expect people to shell out $50 for the unknown?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that concept works. I get what everybody's saying. It's going to build intrigue. It's almost like you're buying a fucking mystery.
To be there, every championship will be on the line. Boom period, a reboom, which is a miss.
I mean, look at the Dynamite card, bro. I don't know how
anymore. So I just don't see the need for this Jerry Lynn involvement. And
I've heard rumors of Goldberg potential.
Hold on.
How that really didn't play into anything that involved him. It was just a waste of time. We all know Tony Khan is an ECW fan. You take it behind you, and then you froze like fucking Charlotte Flair.
All right. One night stand ticket behind me. There's 2 of them. I went to both.
Upset millions of fucking people, man. You didn't want to be on social media after WrestleMania this year, I'll tell you that.
No. This is going to upset the chat too, but let me...
All right, we'll go back.
In that building. So the only thing he needs to worry about is pay-per-view buys, and you know they're coming at $49.99. And for me... It doesn't matter if I don't get a card in a week or 2 weeks. I'm still buying the pay-per-view because I'm an honest man. And that's what I'm telling everybody in here. You're still buying the pay-per-view. You might be frustrated with the lack of direction that's happening with All Elite Wrestling and this show because realistically, this is their moment. This is AEW's moment. All of you AEW fans, this is your moment. You are going to have 80,000 people descend on Wembley Stadium in London, England. And this is your time to change the game. You did it once. Do it again. And right now, it seems like we're dropping the ball a little bit.
They are dropping the ball, and then they got All Out to worry about. So, I mean, whenever this media call happens, I hope somebody asks the question of, it's taking so long, how are you going to juggle 2 pay-per-views in a single week? I mean, it's a lot. But yeah. I get why people are upset. I get why he may not announce something beforehand. I just like to know what's going to happen before I I venture off and do something and pay that type of money.
Well, let me ask you this.
I feel like the television shows are actually suffering as well because you're getting what you're getting on Wednesday night, and people are expecting stories and build and leading to this big show, and he sold 80,000 people, and all people can think about is, or he sold 80,000 tickets, and it's like he fucking went to sleep, and he's not going to wake up until we get to London. Where's the build? Like, you're taking your fans for granted. Announce something. We want to know.
But to be fair, WWE does this all the time.
And that's a problem.
Yeah,
I agree. But
I
they're
agree
starting
too.
to change that mold. But WWE did this for years with WrestleMania. I memean, it was, well, the place is sold out, and it's on Peacock, so we have nothing to really sell right now. So we'll just announce the matches when we want to. And I don't think that's what Tony Khan is doing. I think Tony Khan is legitimately trying to put some serious pieces to a puzzle. And again, I think that the biggest problem they have, and I want your thoughts on this, is we are going to pay $49.99 for All In. Whether you split it with people, whatever. I see you guys are not paying $50. Nobody does. All right, we don't need to give away all the trade secrets here. All right, let's just calm it down. You split it
I'm
with
the only dumbass that pays Verizon $50 a pop.
you split it with your buddies. Good for you. That's what we all do here. All right, just calm it down. I don't need YouTube cracking everybody across the head, and we got Bleacher Report coming after us. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. All right. $49.99 for All In, and then you want another $50 for All Out a week later? What does money grow on trees? Like, come on. We got it. There's got to be something, because I think that's a lot asking for your fans to do that. It really is.
I don't know why. I don't know why they did what they did. I mean, it's 26 days away. All In's 27th. All Out happening legitimately the following weekend in Chicago. I don't know why he did not bundle this into one premium price for both shows. I mean, it's $49.99 a pop for the HD version of the show. I think that's the only version that's available. I don't know who's not watching anything in HD. So you're spending $100 plus fees to watch both of these shows. I don't know why he didn't do a bundle, Drew. Like, I don't know, maybe $79.99 for both shows. Like, I think people would have jumped on board with that. But $100, I mean, the $20 difference is going to go a long way. I mean, that's a fucking in today's market a nice large pizza pie for the family dinner on a random Thursday night.
He tried, and the problem is I don't think the Bleacher Report app and all that other stuff can handle this bundle. So I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they do a BOGO or something like that, where you buy one and they'll send you a code and you get half off. I don't know what they're doing. They have been trying. They being AW, they are trying to do something.
Okay, well, as long as they try to do something. I mean, regardless, like you said, no matter what people are thinking about the price, they will digest this somehow, some way, whether they pay for it or they go through nefarious means of watching. People will be watching regardless of what Tony Khan's going to be doing on the 27th.
I respect all of you who sit there and be like, listen, I pay full prices. I want to support AEW. Good for you. I love that. I love that for you guys. I do. I got 3 kids. I'm just trying to make ends meet here.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying $100 for 2 papers. Love you guys. But thank you for supporting AEW and all that other stuff. Speaking of AEW All In, JD, August 23rd, I want your take on this. They're going to reportedly, AEW is going to be taping Collision and Dynamite. Dynamite will be live and they'll be taping Collision that same night in Duluth, Georgia. This will mark the first time this ever happens. Obviously, Collision is only a month and a half old. Is this something or nothing? Because this is the go home before All In. So technically, if we're going to do this whole elite build, this is versus Punk and FTR, this is where everything would come head to head. Doesn't seem like we're headed that way. But do you think this is a big deal? Do you think this is something, or is this just the dirt sheets picking up on crap?
No, it's just the dirt sheets, again, selling dirt and selling drama. We're not even there yet. This story came out. I seen this story yesterday, and apparently people are making this into a big ordeal as well. So what? They'll be sharing the locker room. I mean, does anybody expect what happened last year at All Out to happen here on August 23rd before their biggest show ever? Like, I don't understand. Maybe they tape Dynamite, Drew, and then the Dynamite crew leaves the building, and then we have the Collision crew for the nightcap. It's like, you have a little birthday party and a little birthday party in a club, and then the birthday party leaves, and then you get ready for the fucking after party with all the adults coming in. That's what I figured that they would do. Get the Dynamite crew out of there, bring the Collision crew in, and then goodbye. I mean, why do they have to share the same locker room if they don't want to? But even if they have to, what's the big deal? Like, adults, we're all grown men here and women.
Right. And again, I agree with you. I think it's a lot to do about nothing. But I will say that, Dynamite seems like it's going to be live. I think the best thing to do is to tape Collision before this, because if it's after, man, that is
That's a long night.
it's a long night. It is.
Yeah.
It's a very, very long night. And we have two new world champions. Well, one.
Yes.
AEW has a new world champion, the real world champion. That leaves AEW with two world championships.
Right. I love it.
You love it?
Yes.
It seems like we have a hard brand split for the majority of the talent. And is this the right call, JD?
Yes, it is. It is the right call. I've asked for this even before Collision got started. As soon as we heard the rumors about a soft brand split, then it goes to a hard brand split, and then it's back to soft. Whatever you want to call it, I honestly think the names that are being showcased on Collision have been made into bigger stars because they have been given their own show in AEW Collision. Ricky Starks is bigger than he's ever been. He looks like a main event guy. He's in the ring with Punk. He's a bigger name for it. And he's done some of his best work on this show in the 7 weeks it's been on TV compared to everything he's done on Dynamite in the first 3 years. Same thing with Andrade. Andrade looks bigger and better than ever than he has been on Collision. Malachi, I'm waiting to see more Malachi. Apparently, House of Black is going to have, or Malachi, I know, is going to have a match with Andrade supposedly at All In. I hope that's the case. I would pay good money to see that itself. Punk is there. Christian Cage is doing some awesome work. And the list goes on. FTR, Jay White, you see what the Bullet Club has done on Collision, being that they are on that show specifically and not Dynamite. Bro, the brand split, whatever you want to call it, is working. And I wish that they'd actually dive a little bit deeper into that. And the fact that CM Punk finally revealed what was in the red sack, I was so happy that he finally did, because now we're going to get the whole CM Punk universe kind of coming together now. This is what we've waited for ever since he went out with injury and then came back. He's the real world champion. People made a big deal. I know you've seen it. He spray painted the X over the E because it was signifying elite. I mean, how else is he going to spray paint the fucking X without going over the E across the center of the title? I mean, give me a fucking break. But, I get a lot of Hulk Hogan WCW vibes when he spray painted the NWO. Whatever it is, man, two world champions is going to play into the MJF thing coming to AEW television sooner rather than later. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit as well, but I love the fact that we get two world champions, because the brand split to me is something that AEW with this huge roster really needs to go out there and explore.
Yeah, and the thing is that we really saw this competition between brands early in the WWE brand split. It was like Raw wanted to beat SmackDown, and SmackDown wanted to beat Raw, and we have not seen that in WWE for a long time.
Yeah.
And now we're pretty much seeing this in AEW. CM Punk has shirts that say "I'm a Collision guy." He's put out there colliders, all this other stuff. CM Punk wants to beat Dynamite. He wants Collision to beat Dynamite's ratings week after week, and they're growing. Collision's ratings are up. I think they did 700,000 this week, and I'm not much of a ratings guy, but I will tell you that that's a really good number for a Saturday night. So I will say that I agree with you. I think the brand split, if you want to call it that, has given new life and new juice to a lot of guys and girls who desperately needed it on that overcrowded roster. I don't like the two world championships. I like that CM Punk had a championship. All he needed to say, in my opinion, was, Max, you never beat me for this, so this is not your world championship. This is mine. And when me and you come face to face, we're going to find out who the real world champion is. And then you could have done that at All In. What I think AEW is trying to do, which is smart on Tony Khan, is he knows Collision's going head-to-head with SummerSlam on Saturday.
Yeah.
So what they did is they're having a World's Championship match on Saturday to run neck and neck with SummerSlam, with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as the special guest enforcer. They're trying to pull eyeballs away from SummerSlam.
Yeah, and for all the glue sniffers on social media who think I'm covering Collision and not SummerSlam, I mean, why would I give up a huge payday for myself and cover Collision and not SummerSlam? So, yes, I will be covering SummerSlam, and then I'll worry about Collision on Sunday.
I'm stealing that one. Glue sniffers, I like that.
I mean, give me a break.
But
But
you
yeah,
can have Schmendrix. You can take that from me. I'm stealing glue sniffers.
Basically-
White, what Schmendrix is, she'll tell you.
Bro, the only thing about this I don't like is MJF. He should already be addressing this, man. He should already be conjuring something in his head about, hey, CM Punk, you got a world championship over there. What the fuck you doing? I'm the real world champion. He's
Hold on.
over there playing house with Adam Cole. right? So it's like that's the only part I don't like. It's like CM Punk unveils this new world championship, and all of a sudden MJF is dealing with Adam Cole, and he's not making this an issue instantly. If someone did that to me, I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna put this off for a second. Let me go see what CM Punk is doing over here. He's a fucking world champion. Give me a break.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like for me, like the build right there is MJF and Cole. Like and it's like they're there and they're not going there. And this has been something that's kind of like convoluted for AEW. That's the match, the turn, the match at All In, and the other match at All In is Punk versus Kenny. It's a huge singles match that everybody wants to see, and it seems like Kenny and Punk are willing to do business. So why not do it? Now we're headed to Punk and MJF. It seems at All In. I'm not necessarily hating on it, but it seems like AEW at times takes this convoluted way to get somewhere. And maybe they can't have some of these matches that we want, but man, like the Jericho Takeshita tag match, nah. Just give me fucking Jericho and Sting.
Yeah.
And let that be it. Give me MJF and Cole and let them have a rematch at All In a ladder match. I just don't fucking get it sometimes. Like sometimes it's just like, why won't you just give everybody what they want? Because Vince did it too. Because you think you're smarter than us? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But come on.
MJF and Adam Cole have the highest quarter-by-quarter rating with FTR for Collision, which I think gave them 770,000 people on a Saturday night, which is very good for Saturday night in 2023, especially with the fucking UFC show that happened that same night.
Yeah.
What are they doing with this, bro? Do you see them now continuing it after what we saw on Collision? I know a lot of people were expecting, including me. I thought we were getting the breakup and then maybe the match, like you had talked about and alluded to, at All In. But it looks like after MJF teased he was going to hit Adam Cole, that did not happen, and we are living.
There was a commercial. Hold on.
It is their biggest storyline in the entire company right now. What does he do going into All In? Do they keep MJF a babyface? I mean, he's fucking killing it. Like, I don't want to see it, but he's fucking killing it.
And here's the thing, right? It's just like, okay, so the story we're telling, it seems as if MJF and Cole are like best friends that are eventually going to split and they're eventually going to meet for that world championship. But now we're telling another story that CM Punk is claiming himself as the real world's champion. And what does MJF think about that? It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, give me just, how about one? How about one? Let me sink my teeth into one instead of being like, well, we're here, and then we're going to go there, and then we're headed here, and then this is headed that way, and then we're going left, and we're going right, and if you miss that, we're going to the center. It's like, what the, dude, what?
Yeah.
What? I don't want to, the mental gymnastics at times is too much for me. I really dig MJF and Cole. And truthfully, they lost their tag team title shot. They're not getting another one, right? So what the fuck? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Maybe one ties into the other. Maybe MJF gets so upset that CM Punk came out and now stepping on his territory with his fake world championship, and maybe he takes it out on Adam Cole, and then he turns on Adam Cole because of that. I don't know.
Maybe. I just think that, again, there is a major opportunity for All Elite Wrestling at Wembley Stadium and All In. And I think they need to put the biggest matches they possibly can on that card that everybody wants to see. Because otherwise, I mean, guys, come on. Jericho and Takeshita taking on who? Who we get? We're getting Sammy Guevara and
Brother.
Hold on. The Rock returned to WWE. There's nothing much on NXT really. Besides besides Rey Mysterio showing up and Diamond taking on Dragon Lee.
Going back quickly, Drew, to the split, this hard or soft brand split, whatever you want to call it. I know one thing that happened on Collision, I don't know if you paid attention to it, was the fact that Mercedes Martinez showed up and wrestled Kiera Hogan. Nothing match. But now Mercedes Martinez is targeting Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. And I know there was a lot of discussion around Britt Baker and what's going on Dynamite and this and that. With a hard brand split, do you see Tony Khan potentially giving the women a split? Because I talked about this on Saturday when I went live. Maybe we get Statlander on one show and Tony Storm on the other, and we get split women's championships on both shows as well, and maybe two separate women's divisions. those who don't want to work under the political circumstances and the political climate that was reported this week, and then maybe more of a different vibe on Collision. Do you see that possibly working out?
I
Yeah.
think it could. I think there's a lot of championships in AEW. Too many, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, way
like,
too many.
Okay, who's your champion? Who's not your champion? Where does this rank in the whole like ranking systems and championship? It's just a lot, man. So yeah, let the TBS title go over to Dynamite, and let the and then whatever else you want to. I don't know. The women's championship come on over to Collision. That works for me, truthfully. And Mercedes Moné being an AEW is a win-win. So yeah, if she wants to be on Collision, great. For me, it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
There is a lot of titles. I don't know why we have so many titles, but
Exactly.
I was thinking about that on Saturday too when that happened. But shifting gears here, going into WWE now. We got a couple of WWE news and notes here. They're returning to India on September 8th, which is just a few days after Payback, which is happening Labor Day weekend in September. They are running a small venue, Drew, about 5,500 people, and I thought this was going to be like a premium live event thing or a special event on Peacock. Apparently it's not. It's going to be a Raw-only show. SmackDown is going to be in Boston, Massachusetts that same day. So it's only going to be the Raw stars. So that means we'll get Veer and Jinder Mahal and Shanky and fucking, what's his name? The other guy that teams with Veer. I forgot. Indus Sher. Whatever the case may be. But this is just going to be a regular house show.
Yeah, and again, I think some of these shows that they do, when they go to MSG and they go to the Allstate Arena, or they go to Nassau Coliseum, or they go to some of the bigger buildings in Texas and California, and even across the pond, or whatever they want to do, I think they should throw these on Peacock. I mean, realistically, this is an India show. It's going to be, like you said, 5,500, and for me, you probably get, the hometown guys and girls getting their matches and stuff like that are currently under WWE contract. But yeah, it is a big deal for the WWE international market. I'd watch it, in my free time just to see, because it's always cool to see things out of the country, out of the United States. But I mean, I really feel like WWE should fully take advantage, and NBCU, Peacock, Comcast should 100% want to be on board with this. You're already paying for it. Hey, listen, you're already going to record this crap. I know you guys are. WWE's already recording it. Why not throw it on Peacock?
Why go so small? Why 5,500? I mean, they're going into India, bro. They could easily sell 15, 20,000 tickets if they wanted to. Were they only allotted a smaller venue?
No, Cody's not on it currently, and neither is Rome.
Oh, well, Seth Rollins there.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I think 6,000, I think it holds 8, with the stage and stuff like that. Who knows what they're going to do? I think it's the right size building to do a show that's, simultaneously running against SmackDown over in Boston. I think it's perfect. They don't need to, not every building needs to be 20,000 people like they did in Mexico, but the WWE's international market is through the roof.
Should be interesting in India. I want to see how that all plays out there. NXT, they're running an event, No Mercy. They're bringing back their old WWE IPs and now incorporating them into NXT, which I don't really care for. I mean, TakeOver is no more, so these shows don't resemble anything that is a premium live event, as what I said about the Great American Bash was anything but premium.
They did Heat Wave. They did
Heat Wave, No Mercy, what a St. Valentine's Day Massacre. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, what they're doing, to your point and your question, is, do you think it's pettiness? They have SummerSlam, Survivor Series now, even a WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble's all on Saturdays. Now they're running NXT shows.
This is definitely deliberate.
Oh yeah, because Collision's rising.
But I thought NXT was only running Sunday nights though. What happened? Now it's No Mercy September 30th, head to head with AEW Collision, because AEW is gaining traction on Saturday night and WWE is looking to stop that with NXT, which kind of hurts my pocket because I covered the NXT show on Sunday night. I had a pretty decent fucking audience, 2,000 people live here for an NXT show, which is pretty decent in my honest opinion. Now we have these two shows running together. It's like, I want to watch both. I don't want to have to fucking flip back and forth between both of them on the same night. I don't like it.
So work harder. Watch both of them at the same time, goddamn. Listen, I get it. And for me, I can tell you this right now. This is not inside information. I can tell you. WWE is going to continue to do this. NXT is going to have more PLEs that run neck and neck with Collision. I can promise you that. And it's the NXT brand that's going to be doing it.
Well, I hope something else is happening that night where none of them get the type of audience they wanted. Maybe there's a big football game. Maybe there's a big, I don't know. Maybe
Saturday, college.
I don't know. Whatever. But it is petty.
Yeah.
And they clearly are hypocrites, and they go back on what they say. Oh, we're not worried about them. We don't watch them. Yes, you do.
Well,
clearly
speaking
see
of
everything
hip-
that's going on.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hypocrites, I don't think this man is, but I want your take on this. Paul Heyman went on First Take this morning with Roman Reigns, and he claimed to be the GOAT of wrestling managers. Do you agree or disagree?
Like the greatest ever?
Yeah, that's what.
No, he's not the greatest ever. He's number 2.
Two.
He's number 2. Bobby Heenan.
He said Bobby Heenan's dead, so he doesn't count.
I don't. Bro, listen, man. He's everybody's favorite Juso, is what he said, right? I mean, he's gonna. Bro, Paul Heyman will sell. What was the line that I heard? I was watching Tommy Boy with Chris Farley the other day. I went to Orlando for a family outing, and I was watching Tommy Boy, and Tommy's father was a huge salesman. Yeah, obviously in the Callahan industry, Callahan brake parts, brake pads. Yeah. He could sell ketchup to a woman wearing white gloves, is what David Spade said. That's Paul Heyman, bro. I mean, he could sell you anything. I don't believe him when he says this necessarily. I think he's definitely in character, but he's a salesman. He comes off like a cheap car salesman, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to sell you what you want to hear, right? He's going to tell you, fabricated stories to fucking get you on his side. Do I think he is a GOAT? Yes. Do I think he is the GOAT? No. Bobby Heenan is. Do you want to know why? Because Bobby Heenan, the amount of talent that Bobby Heenan aligned himself with is basically what Paul Heyman is doing. So Paul Heyman is a direct, he's looking at Bobby Heenan, and that's his direct influence. Paul Heyman has his crew, and Bobby Heenan had the Heenan family. But the one thing that Paul Heyman didn't have was what Bobby Heenan had after he was retired as an on-air manager for talent. He was the best, and nobody will ever. You and I could be fucking disappeared off this earth, bro. There's not going to be anyone that sits in that chair, color commentator-wise, that's going to be better than Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's what Paul Heyman doesn't have. So, from being on air to transitioning to that, Paul Heyman can't sit there and tell everybody that he's better than Bobby Heenan. It's not.
First of all, Paul Heyman's Bobby Heenan comments were 100% him being in character.
Yes.
So if you want to use the terminology working, yes, absolutely. Yes. In my opinion, I think Paul Heyman is nothing but the absolute utmost respect for Bobby Heenan and the Heenan family. What I will say is that I don't really view Paul Heyman as an advocate or a manager. I view Paul Heyman as the guy who ran ECW and was a disruptor. That's how I view Paul Heyman. Now, Paul Heyman has had a who's who of people that he has managed. He's also flubbed a couple people too, but that's just the game, right? So for me, it is Bobby Heenan and then probably Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman, to your thing about announcing, Paul Heyman was fantastic with Jim Ross.
Oh, I'm not saying that he was bad. Yeah. I'm just saying that he wasn't Bobby Heenan.
Yeah. I'm just saying. For me, Paul Heyman is and will always be the guy who ran ECW and disrupted an entire industry.
And that's what we know him as. I mean, I grew up with ECW. I mean, we were trading VHS tapes in high school for ECW because I didn't get it and I needed my fix of ECW. We have Paul Heyman to thank for that.
TNN.
There you go.
That's where I saw. Randy Orton's been on the show for the back injury, JD, for which seems like forever. It's been since May 22.
I missed that, man.
He has an undisclosed back injury that doctors have told him not to wrestle again. Never wrestle again. And he has started lifting weights, and it seems like he is bulking up, according to multiple reports, and will not be medically cleared as of this moment. Should Randy make this comeback that he's dead set on, or should he kind of realize that he's done basically all you possibly could do in this industry?
It's interesting there, Drew. He's lifting weights and bulking up, but he's not medically cleared. Does that make sense to you? He's not medically cleared. Would he be lifting weights?
Well, I will say this. You can work out and you can bulk up and eat whatever you want, but WWE has a protocol that you will have to go to the Performance Center and be completely cleared and pass all these tests by their medical staff. And if they feel like you're a risk in the ring, or you're not moving like you're supposed to, et cetera, they will not clear you.
Do I think Randy Orton should come back and make this comeback? Yes. He is not going to allow this injury to derail his career and end it on anything but his terms. Honestly. He's going to come back and he's going to finish his chapter, finish his story, and write it the way he wants before he hangs up the boots. There's still a lot for Randy Orton to do. There's still a lot of talent on the current product right now that I want to see in the ring with Randy Orton. Gunther and Cody Rhodes being two of the top names. To be quite honest with you, a few with Matt Riddle's got to be finished up. Like, Randy Orton still has a huge piece to Monday Night Raw and getting it where it needs to be. Like I want to see him back, and he's a fan favorite. He was doing some of the best work of his later years with Matt Riddle. I mean, he was incredibly over. He's going to bring that sense of legitimacy that we're missing from him being out. Him feuding with Cody makes all the sense in the world. Him potentially going after Gunther. I'd love to see Randy Orton chase another world championship. Honestly, how many championships does he have? He's almost neck and neck with John Cena, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's got 14.
So I mean, it's a possibility. I'd like to see that stuff happen. I mean, if there's anybody that deserves a way to write his own story and finish it, it's Randy Orton.
And I would tend to agree with you. I would love to see Randy back in a WWE ring or any ring for that stance. But if he is a risk, I don't want to see him in a wheelchair or anything else like that. There's nobody on this planet that's going to be able to tell that man that he cannot get back in the ring if he is medically cleared or shouldn't. So I would love to see him against Cody. Cody had his first match ever in WWE, debuted against Randy.
Yeah.
The story writes itself. So I'd love to see it too.
I mean, we're in the same boat with Bryan Danielson, bro, aren't we? And Edge. I mean, they came back. I mean, for all we know, they wrote them off as fucking dead to rights, both of those guys, and here they are. Randy Orton doesn't have a neck injury; he's got a back injury. It's just as severe. I don't want to make one worse than the other. I mean, they're both career-ending injuries, but if those two guys can come back, and we've seen the medical advances happen with those guys to where they were producing some of the best work of their career later in their career, why can't Randy Orton do it?
I agree with you. My only just like I had the concern with Bryan Danielson. I think Bryan's given everything he possibly can to this industry, and at times, this is me from a personal aspect. I don't want to see the man in a wheelchair at conventions. I don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather see the man be able to live his life and have a good, quality of life. So if Randy can come back and have a great match with anybody, he will. And I wish him the best and only want the best for him and his family. So whatever Randy wants to do, I'm sure he'll make that decision. But I don't think anybody's going to tell that man to get back in the ring. So.
Somebody that I would like to see less of in the ring is Charlotte Flair. She, speaking of title reigns, 16. How many title reigns she's got now? 14?
I think she's at 14, but I know that WWE does have plans to have her be the one that breaks her dad's record.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. Nah, give me a break.
I don't think it's gonna happen at 40. I think it'll maybe.
Well, I mean, we'll get the party started on Saturday, man. She'll get number 15 on Saturday and screw EO Sky out of a championship cash in, right?
You never know.
I mean, 16 or 17
in to find out.
16 or 17 title reigns, man. Is she going to break her dad's record? I think the answer is yes. There. Does it matter? I mean, bro, we could sit here and fucking start the whole of the podcast on Charlotte Flair. The whole thing with Charlotte is, do you remember anything memorable that she's done outside of a thing here or a thing there? Have any of her title reigns meant anything? The answer is no. So, I mean, why am I crazy, man? Tell me one thing outside of Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks that Charlotte Flair did. What did she do?
You just named two, and you're asking me to name another one.
Yes.
I mean, all right. Well,
if she's so good, you can name them off the top of your head, no?
Well, I mean, Charlotte probably had the best match at WrestleMania 32. I mean, I'd have to go back and really think about that, but that's my. Charlotte had that
with Sasha and Becky. Was it Becky or Bayley?
It was Becky. It was Becky. But I just, for me, I think Charlotte Flair is an unbelievable athlete.
Now, Charlotte, great wrestler, but we don't need to see Charlotte champion. If she wins the title, she can feud with Bianca. She can hold Bianca, and what comes with that?
You guys might not like it or whatever, but you guys are saying the same shit about John Cena and same shit about Randy Orton. Then all of a sudden, John Cena and Randy Orton go away, and it's like, I miss them so much. And you're going to say that when Charlotte decides to hang them up, because Charlotte is a once-in-a-generational talent. You might not like all the world championships she's won, but you take Charlotte Flair off WWE's roster and throw her in AEW, she is unequivocally, there is nobody better than her on that roster in AEW. So,
she's not even the best wrestler in her division.
Well, I would say right now you have, Becky, you have Rhea, who are on top of their game, and Rhea is just on a completely different level.
I think right now, the way we see it, I mean, if she actually got in the ring, Rhea, Asuka, and Io. I don't know, Charlotte's maybe five from the top?
I mean, are we talking just like...
In ring.
Yeah, I mean, okay. But I mean, like, how many... Give me the best...
It don't matter. It's the least important thing, right?
Well, no, it's not, because that's where all the magic happens. But you also need to be... you need to transcend. Is Charlotte Flair an attraction? Yep, she sure is. And that's the thing. Rhea's an attraction. She sure is. There's different levels to this shit. And, again, Becky's an attraction. I mean... Is Becky the best performer in that ring? Bell to bell?
No.
in the women's division. All right. So, and let's take another step back here. AJ Styles, probably one of the best bell to bell performers in the WWE, and I mean, he won a couple world championships, but I mean, he's never gotten back to that height. I mean,
AJ Styles is doing nothing on SmackDown. He still feud with Karen Cross. At this point, do you care? What are they fighting over? Why is it still continuing?
just because you're the best in ring performer doesn't.
Charlotte on the mind and Becky and all these other women that they want to push. Don't you think someone like that is I would say, harming the division? I mean, she hasn't really put anybody over. I mean, she put Rhea over. I don't want to say nobody. She put Rhea over, gave Rhea her flowers at WrestleMania, which to me, the second best women's match I've ever seen. Okay, outside Sasha and Bailey at Takeover. But I feel like she's done nothing to really get anybody else over, man. I think Charlotte Flair is for Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair is not for the women's revolution. Because where's everybody else, bro? I mean, I mentioned this on Monday. Where's Tegan Knox? Where's Candice LeRae? Where's Mia Yim? Where's Piper Niven? Where's Nikki Cross? Where's Indy Hartwell? You call that, bro? They got like a dozen or so women that they haven't even used yet. Like, where is the division? Like, I'm tired of seeing Charlotte. I'm tired of seeing all these same names, Bianca and Asuka. I mean, where's everybody else?
What about Becky? Becky's kind of taken a step back, but before that,
Yeah, and what she's doing is the worst thing on Monday night. I appreciate it. I'm glad that she's not in a title, but they gave her Trish Stratus. They didn't give her a Tegan Knox or a Candice LeRae. I mean, she could have been feuding with somebody else that needs it. Does Trish need it? Does she need to be on TV? That's my problem.
Well, I mean, again, I think Rhea Ripley's doing the best work right now we've seen in the women's division in years. Before that, I would say it's Becky, and then before that, I would say it was Charlotte. I mean, Asuka too. Was it who had the match at WrestleMania 34 for the women's championship? Was it Charlotte and Asuka?
Yeah, that's where Charlotte beat Asuka's undefeated reign. Of course.
Was that a really good match? I think it was.
Do I think it was their best match? No, it wasn't their best match. It was a good match. It wasn't their best match.
All right, listen, Charlotte has had some good matches. I understand she's not everyone's favorite. That's fine. I get it. But at the end of the day, her talent's undeniable. Whether you find her attractive or not, it gives. I mean, that's not. I mean,
no, we didn't ask that. We didn't ask that question. We're not talking about the women's lungs.
Right. I'm just saying. I mean, you take Charlotte out of the WWE locker room, and
Alright, Mike will end the video. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more. I made a very long video. That was JD from New York, my favorite podcaster, my favorite YouTuber. He was also speaking with Andrew. This is Mr. Blackhammer. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.